Thank you very much for your introduction. It's a real pleasure to be part of this panel and to be with all of you today. First of all, it's really a pleasure to be speaking with you on a subject so close to my heart, the role of culture in shaping our cities and surroundings. Through our esteemed panel today and World City Forum in collaboration with SHEIKHA, I'm extremely positive that there will be a spark and light on so many initiatives that will help create new ideas, strengthen programs, and ensure continuity. Of course, being a practicing artist myself and holding a place within a cultural institution in Bahrain allows me to be involved in shaping programs and working on projects that gives me a personal sense of gratitude and satisfaction. To me, this is a true blessing, and I'm part of a wonderful institution that works on preservation of heritage, promoting art and culture, and building a dynamic platform for so many elements that shape and create our fabric of society. Through the presentation I prepared for all of you today, I would like to invite you on a visual journey to explore various projects that shape our philosophy and allow us to promote through various tools of expression, from architecture, art, heritage, elements both tangible and intangible, a wide range of public programming. We're in Dubai now, at the heart of Dubai, and at our doorstep, it's World Expo, which is an incredible way to connect with the rest of the world. This is, of course, a vital networking event that brought together the whole world under one hub on so many levels, especially today that we are speaking about cities, connecting minds, creating opportunities. And to me, the most important question to ask is how we can promote the growth of art and culture, and how we can hold on to the elements of individuality that creates minds, that creative minds and cities have amongst its fabric. The Kingdom of Bahrain Pavilion, which is, as you see, a futuristic architecture, explores 4 rotating themes. We speak about sea, we speak about weaving, narrative history, sustainable city, and the concept of density. Density through 126 intersected columns that hold the cube. It's 24 meters in high. You can immediately relate to the notion of density. There are other factors that fall under the umbrella of density in relationship to Bahrain. The density of historic and ancient layers of our land, the rich and magnificent story of sea trade and pearls, and our natural and environmental resources, and our newly developed weaving technology in collaboration with McLaren. This will all be unveiled within the Expo Pavilion. When we talk about weaving and crafts and an ongoing work to create the sustainable goal that we all wish to achieve. In October 2019, the heritage city of Muharraq was nominated to be part of UNESCO Creative City Program. And as you can see, this logo was part of our identity. We had an open call initiative that we really feel very important in the work that we do. Those open calls initiatives really bring a positive vibe through young artists and creatives. It's also a pleasure to go through submissions and proposals, and probably the hardest thing to do is selecting the winner. As you can see here, the logo that was chosen captures an aerial view of the island of Muharraq in a circle referencing the pearl and reflecting back to the strong ties of this particular island and the legacy of pearling trade in Bahrain. I'd like to share with you an inspirational quote that I came across by the artist and author and historian Anthony Gromley. I believe in the cities as a natural human environment, but we must humanize it. It's art that will redefine our public spaces. In the 21st century, we can make our cities diverse, inspirational places by putting art, dance, performances in all its form into the matrix of life. And I believe that this is exactly what we can see achieved beautifully here at SHEIKHA in Dubai. From these words to the notion of connection between creative minds and the cultural institution, we have launched a national public chair competition along the Pearling Path. The result you can see explores different themes in relation to pearling trade. This program falls under the Creative City Initiative in relation to UNESCO. Here I have sensed a beautiful way to allow young talents and designers to be part of the urban development of the heritage city and a project recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. On the same note, in the heart of Muharraq, a local souk called Souk al-Qaysariya. Here is a newly developed strip of a modern architecture in juxtaposition with the heritage shops that are present, hosting a number of vendors, both traditional and modern. Here is an excellent example on how flavors of authenticity and modernity can work together in harmony, allowing for a new wave of shoppers and tourists and different market goers to explore the various products on display in a very close proximity to the Pearling Path Visitor Center. Think the Visitor Center, you can see it. It's the tower at the back of the structure of Al Qaysariya. That is the Pearling Path Visitor Center. I'm also sharing images of this beautiful library, Al Khalifa Library, which is a striking architecture. It opens its door to the public in 2019 in the heart of Muharraq as well. Students, members of the community, readers, so many people work there and host workshops and lectures. And this newly developed space is in the exact same location of one of the oldest libraries in Bahrain that opened its door to the community in the 1950s. As our journey is still covering the city of Muharraq, I would like to highlight that in 2018, it was nominated to be the capital of Islamic culture as a result of various celebrations and programs involving the community. There was an idea by Her Excellency SHEIKHA BINT Mohammed Al Khalifa to celebrate Islamic art, and this was welcomed by all delegation at UNESCO. And in 2019, Bahrain and other capitals all around the world were able to highlight the beauty and the wealth and the continuous legacy of elements that are present in Islamic culture, like calligraphy and architecture and literature and so many more. Here is an example of different calligraphers coming together to create public art installations at the Art Center. The National Museum also opened its door to a temporary exhibition showcasing objects from its collection. There were talks and movie screenings and a very big event that's parallel with this. Now, the aim after identifying the date, which is the 18th of November, is to create an actual active role and active participation from various schools, museums, and institutions, cultural center all around the world to share and to highlight the wealth of Islamic heritage and art, and how open Islamic art is to other influences and culture that we can see present, of course, in various historic cities and objects in various collections from the Middle East to the Far East. Many of these traditions are still alive with us today. And in reference to intangible heritage, we can all work collectively to promote and ensure that these traditions stay alive and nurtured.
أرحب بكم في يوم الفن الإسلامي، المبادرة التي انطلقت من المحرق عاصمة الثقافة الإسلامية 2018 وأقرتها في العام الماضي منظمة اليونسكو في المؤتمر العام. اليوم نحتفل معكم بالاحتفالية الأولى لهذا الفن الذي مد جسور التواصل مع العالم أجمع، والذي كان له تأثيرا واضحا في النمط المعماري الذي نراه واضحا في العمارة التي يطلق عليها العمارة الإسلامية، كما استضافت كثير من المتاحف العالمية قسما خاصا بهذه الفنون التي مدت جسور التواصل مع العالم أجمع لكي تعرف بالفن، بالجمال، بالقيم التي تميز هذا النوع من الفن.
Our journey now leads us to a very special place in my heart, and it's Dar al-Muharraq that hosts and promotes a wonderful music called Ifjiri. It's the music of the sea, unique to Bahrain. Its tunes accompany the fishermen and the pearling ships through their journey. On this topic, Bahrain has completed its nomination folder to the UNESCO to recognize this type of music as part of our intangible heritage elements. There is magic within these tunes, and a local legend says that this type of singing was transferred from spirits to humans. And of course, as with all legends, it's a way to add some spice on an exciting practice. Today in Bahrain, we have local traditional groups that perform on a regular basis. And we at the Cultural Authority provide spaces within the city to host these live performances. Now, the beauty of this specific location is its innovative architecture with the metal curtain that opens, allowing the space to be accessible. And believe me, attending one of these concerts will leave you with a magical experience, as the building itself, or the dar as we call it locally, it's located in a very narrow pathway in a small neighborhood. The tunes and the songs travel, and people come and be engaged with the musicians and with everyone within that space. But going back to the important element of traditional craft, I have to share with you that our unique crafts in Bahrain, I probably have a video to share about Ifjiri, so I'd like you to hear that for a moment before we move to the other topic.
من واجب الثقافة المحافظة على هذه الفنون الشعبية، ولا شك أن مبادرة إحياء بعض الدور الشعبية وتوظيفها كوجهة أسبوعية لتأدية هذا النوع من الغناء، وأيضا تدريب والعناية بالمهتمين بهذا الشأن، سواء من يؤدوا هذا النوع من الغناء عبر الفرق الشعبية أو تشجيع أجيال جديدة من الشباب الالتحاق بهم والاستمرار هذا الموروث الشعبي الأصيل.
العلاقة بين الإنسان البحريني والبحر علاقة قوية، وشكلت كثير من ملامح الثقافة لدى الإنسان البحريني. أنتجت هذه العلاقة فنين مهمين في البحرين، اللي هو النهمة والفجري. والنهمة هو طبعا غناء عمل، والفجري هو غناء السمر لدى بحارة اللؤلؤ في البحرين.
الفجري له يعني موقع الجغرافي يعني هو يعني أساسه في البحرين، وأنا أجزم أن هذه أساسه في البحرين.
This little boy is called Abdullah. I have a personal relationship with him. I've known him for many years back. His father is one of the practicing musicians playing in these traditional bands. And for me to see the growth and the transfer of knowledge with an element so close to tradition and heritage in Bahrain, and to understand that through Abdullah, things will continue and the practicing arts will stay alive. And I believe that this is really the true essence of most of the work that happens within our institution. But now I'd like to shed some light going back to an important element, which is crafts. And when I speak about pottery, I have a very special place for it within my heart, because I'm from Bahrain, the land of Dilmun, ancient civilization, 5,000 years of history of layers. And, it's an open invitation to all of you to come and to explore these initiatives and sites in Bahrain. So over 5,000 years from the era of Dilmun, the ancient civilization, Bahrain pottery has been present. It's part of our institution. Now, Made in Bahrain is a newly launched brand to showcase various traditional crafts that nurture the people that have this talent, create a new generation of craftsmen and women, and make sure these practices stay alive. We aim to create a dialogue between young and upcoming product designers and craftspeople. And of course, this isn't straightforward. Sometimes the people with the craft want to stay focused on a traditional way of production. But we believe that through engagement with them and through dialogue, you can achieve a product that's authentic, yet modern, packaged in an attractive way and shared with people. Achieving this will definitely generate more income and empower the craftspeople and give them strength and momentum to continue working and producing. These are some of the modern designs with the pottery craft in particular, infused with other elements created by young Bahraini designers. This is the gift shop at the Jessra Art, at the Jessra Craft Center. And I love the simplicity of that specific shop. It's the first Made in Bahrain shop. The second shop was just opened a couple of days ago in Bab al Bahrain, which is in the heart of the capital, in Manama. So the true achievement, I feel, for any cultural initiative is to create a strong bond between the past and the present. The platforms are, of course, endless, and through staying true and unique to the elements that we have, we nurture our identity. It will allow us to deliver a very unique story to share with the rest of the world. In Bahrain, we have 3 World Heritage Sites that were inscribed. Qalat al-Bahrain, ancient harbor and capital of Dilmun in 2005. Pearling, testimony of an island's economy, 2012. And third is the burial mounds in 2019. Personally working under the guidance and the vision of Her Excellency SHEIKHA, and just to share with all of you that we do have a special relationship, as she's my mother, and my minister, whom I report to at work, but of course through her passion and dedication, and the wonderful team I work with at the Bahrain Authority for Culture and Antiquities, I'm able to definitely grow and to continue to be inspired. And one saying that she always repeats, and I wanted to share this saying with all of you, I'll start with Arabic. لا توجد بلاد متخلفة وإنما بلاد تخلف أبنائها عن حبها. There isn't an underdeveloped city. There are cities that lost the attention of its people to nurture, love, and develop further. I think one of the most important principles that she was able to deliver to me personally and to all of us working under her guidance is love. And loving what you do and creating the spark and light through that. I think without the element of love, there's no dedication, no continuity. And I go back to As-Sirkal and I understand that this big project that we're all here enjoying the facilities and connecting together and creating all these things. If there wasn't love and there wasn't dedication to building and to promoting and nurturing, we wouldn't be. So I guess at the bottom line, it's love that this is what I wrote. I said, through love to one's land, urban fabric, history, and diversity, we can achieve incredible, valuable outcomes. I'm taking you to a journey now to a special center dedicated to culture and research, Sheikh Ibrahim Center, who is my grandfather. And my mother has committed a part of her role from the cultural governmental institution. She has founded the NGO under the name of Sheikh Ibrahim Center for Culture and Research. He was an iconic figure in the history of Bahrain. He was an intellectual, he was a poet, a very incredible man. He had a majlis with connections to so many scholars from the Middle East, from the region. After his death, all the letters, all the books were transferred from my grandfather to my mother, and that's where the spark happened and the journey started. Now, there are various homes of individuals. Okay, so basically, the restoration of historic homes is the true passion that falls under Sheikh Ibrahim Center and the initiative of SHEIKHA. Various homes of important individuals that worked in fields in Bahrain, their legacy remains, their stories and the actual walls of their homes, they have been restored and preserved. All these houses share with the public an ongoing cultural agenda. This year, the center celebrates 20 years since it was first established. 25 restored homes that capture the architecture of different eras unique to Bahrain, like pottery, journalism, musician, diplomats. Each house holds the name of the person who lived in it. And these are some examples of the renovated homes in Muharraq. In 2018, the year of Zayed marks a very special collaboration between the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. At this particular home, which is called Nuzul al-Salam, it was sponsored by the UAE government in memory of the late President, His Highness Sheikh Zayed, honoring his work, his legacy, his love and dedication to the people of the United Arab Emirates and to the special connection with Bahrain. This project, which is a unique boutique hotel, adds to the infrastructure and the facilities created to revitalize the heritage city of Muharraq. The interior designer, Ammar Bashir, created an interactive wall with round moon shapes, as you can see in the back of the door, with a sensor. Now, this sensor allows light to form. So when you walk, these shapes, they move with you. The designer, Ammar Bashir, has selected quotes by the late Sheikh Zayed. His words are alive with us today and part of our collective memory in the heart of Bahrain. And this particular photo, the quote says, نحن نصادق في شرف ونتعاون في كرامة ونساعد دون زهو أو مفاخرة ونناصر مبدأ العدل والمساواة. We work with dignity and collaborate with honor and help without the need of recognition. We believe in justice and equality. Now, from these words, I want to take you to another motivating quote by an important thinker and a friend, a developer, an author with a passion towards working on the concept of creative cities. I'm sure you're all familiar with his work, Charles Landry, who says, creativity cannot really be regulated, but it can be encouraged. The redevelopment or revitalization of a city is an art. It depends on the individual strength of a place and the will of the leadership to bring about change. The goal is to establish a cultural infrastructure. This leads me to share with you some details on the capital city, Manama, which is a true example of a multi-layered melting pot of ethnicities and a true cosmopolitan city. From the past, it was a bustling harbor, introducing goods and products into the market. It's one of the most dynamic and alive parts of our country. Here, through various cultural programs, the diversity is celebrated. There is a sense of duty to preserve the authentic architectural landscape in parallel to creating activities to engage the youth and the community. It's important to share with you that on one particular road in Manama, you can find a 200-year-old Hindu temple, a mosque, a church, and a synagogue. This is the real tangible testimony, I believe, showing the freedom and open-mindedness that is present in our society. Now, Little India just happened a couple of days ago. It was the second edition. We celebrated 50 years of diplomatic relationships with India. Now, the merchants in Bab al-Bahrain, they have been there for generations, and they're part of the market until present day. And around that city and modern developments, the role of culture is very present, from outdoor workshops and concerts to public art and murals that bring color and life to various alleyways and buildings. And to end my journey with all of you, and in honor of Expo, I started with Expo and I'm ending with Expo. The massive work that has been delivered here is celebrated, is very important to all of us. I have a huge sense of pride. I was in Expo yesterday, and it's really a wonderful platform. And I think through that platform, we can learn a lot. And I think creative minds and creative cities will definitely benefit from a world global forum like this and Expo in parallel. Now, this is an aerial view of our pavilion in Milan, which won an award in sustainability. The pavilion was shipped and reassembled, and now it has a permanent location in Muharraq. This is, I believe, is a live example of sustainability, continuity, and growth. It has gardens, and the gardens, they have a selection of Bahraini trees and fruits. So now you have an open garden space in the heart of the heritage city of Muharraq. I'll leave you with the last slide. But I do hope that, that this talk was easy on all of you, and that brought some light into the work that we do at the Bahrain Authority for Cultural Antiquities. I'm very happy to share these thoughts and images with all of you, creative thinkers and people who are listening to us today. It's definitely vital to create a dynamic and alive dialogue between governmental institutions and other initiatives in various cities to bring the best outcomes that we all wish for. So thank you all for listening to me today, and I wish you a very beautiful day ahead. Thank you very much.